Hello there guys and girls! A while back I introduced this series to my channel, which is called Game Story Time. Thanks to everyone who commented on the last video for your lovely feedback. For those who don't know, in this series we will talk about our greatest memories about video games and anything gaming related. I would like to remind you to share your own stories in the comment section, and maybe I will comment on your story in the following episode. It doesn't need to be retro at all. Just tell me what gaming related moment touched you or you remember very vividly. That's one way I want you to get to know me a little better. And of course I want to get to know you. I want to thank Captain Madman for sharing his little story in the comment section of episode 2. Let me read that for you. I hope you have heard of Ark Survival Evolved. Anyway, that game is full of extreme players who take everything to the heart. And well, me and my friends marched up to this base and simply said, "We will sell our bodies for food." And well, that triggered a huge tribe war cause somehow they thought we had a huge base. So their allies joined in, so we have at least 25 plus players searching for our base, which is actually just a small thatch hut. I think this is a nice story because the one big strength of these survival games is that they bring players together to experiment and test the boundaries of the game's world. And there's a big social factor to it as well. People form alliances and try to gain power just like in real life. I think it's just funny how you kinda trick those people without even having the intention to do so. Maybe you can use this strategy next time to draw these players from their own base and then have another part of your team stealthily raid their base while they're away. Anyway, thanks for sharing this one and keep them coming. I'd still like to hear all of your stories, guys and girls. My third story is about my first own PC. As you can tell from my videos today, I'm quite the nerd. Well, I was too before, but for other things like being an edgy, depressed teenager. Also, I didn't have that much access to technology when I was younger. I was an outdoors kid, really. The only way I could tinker around with computers and consoles was when I visited my friends. But it just wasn't the same thing as having your own machine at home. So I lived without any computer at home until 2005 or so. That was when my grandpa gave me his old desktop PC. Yes, you heard that right. I got my first PC from my grandpa, who was more open to technology than my mother. I did my high school degree without any internet, which is something most kids today, even some of you, can't even imagine. Well, and this PC my grandpa gave me had just enough power to run Age of Empires 1 and a few other classics. But I loved it. When playing this game, I would always put on System of a Down or this weird band called Deteriorate in my CD player and then slaughter my enemies. And do you remember those little scent sticks that you can light up and they fill up your entire room with smoke, basically? My favorite scent was called Nag Champa. I just literally had the smell in my nose while speaking this very sentence. That just shows how much this smell and Age of Empires are linked in my brain. By the way, I was a Shang player because they had the best, strongest and highest walls, so these baby-raping, job-robbing Romans or Greeks couldn't enter my fine land. The wall was huge. I made the Shang dynasty great again. A year or two later, a big electronics store would open up in our small town and they had these insanely cheap offers for the grand opening. Somehow I convinced my mom to go there the first day at 6 in the morning before school and before work to buy a desktop PC for 300 bucks. It was freezing outside, but nonetheless there was a 100-meter line across the whole parking lot when we arrived. I know, compared to Black Friday this is a joke, but there must have been like half our town's population there. Luckily I got the PC I wanted and installed it in the afternoon on my own, without any previous knowledge. And even then we didn't have any internet at home. My friends would burn me CDs with cool games or software. I started recording stupid music, working with Photoshop and make ridiculous dubs for movies like Titanic. I spent so much time learning new stuff about my own creative capacities, it was really insane and kinda made me who I am today. The thing that kept me from studying for school the most though was GTA San Andreas. It was the first GTA title I could play on my own PC and I put over 300 hours in it. By today's standards that's not very much, but back then this would probably count as an addiction. I finished the game to 100%, finding all these little graffitis and collectibles myself. Who does that nowadays? Everyone's just downloading maps and then work their way through them to get the trophies. So yeah, that was another game story. Let me know what you think of this series and don't forget to share your own priceless experiences with gaming. Thank you for watching. Renova over.